사람들에게 만사의 형통할 수 있는
And the kingdom of God and his citizens are kings and queens that stand with the king of kings and his kingship, that rule with the rod of iron in peace, justice, and mercy. Citizens are ours.
Now, the Rod of Iron Ministries, which is another offshoot of this church.
This is a satanic antichrist devil. These are not real Christians.
Good values. This is a cult.
We're very much opposed to it.
America, we don't worship government. We worship God.
How many of you feel safer knowing that your teacher has a gun? All of you.
We need to turn back to God.
Not to be dependent on the government.
Revelation 3:11, let no man take thy crown, hold fast to what God has. Trump warrants Mueller. Investigation intensifies. That is the main section on Drudge. Shredding DOJ charging policy. When will it end? So that's a huge story that seems to be unfolding. And it looks like Trump is going after the Clinton crime network. McCabe, who was the head of Fusion GPS, who obtained the dossier, fake dossier from Russia, colluded with Russia to influence a U.S. election, has been fired. And of course, he perjured himself, including Comey as well. So now the Justice Department, under Sessions, apparently from inside sources, they say that Sessions has been playing weak for the last year and a half so that he can prepare an adamantine case against the Clinton crime network, because of course, you know, this network is far-reaching, it's very deep-rooted, and of course, in order to uproot it, he would have to present a watertight case. So those are the sort of rumblings and rumors that are seeping out from the White House, etc. We'll just have to wait to see. We'll wait to see what Trump does, but it looks like a move on the Hillary Foundation has already begun. The investigations have already begun. McCabe and those globalist operatives are being shut down. These are the foreign powers. They're panicking. You can see some of the statements that McCabe has made after he was fired, saying America will win and all this kind of thing. These people are not America, you understand? These are anti-American, God-hating, Christian-hating, foreign power paid-for-play politicians and puppets. They're nothing more than those who want to destroy American sovereignty and collapse us into NAFTA, GATT, and TPP, international trade regulations, and or international UN body. I mean, you can even look at the UN crime statistics, and they lump us together with the Americans because that was their dream. They wanted to do what they did to the EU and destroyed it. They wanted to do to the Americas. They wanted to implode us and merge us with South America, which has, by the way, some of the countries in South America have some of the highest homicide rates in the world. And they wanted to collapse us into that, no borders, have it in one continent, where we would simply be taken over. The U.S. would be able to be destroyed, and any of the prosperity that we could create and the force of our military, etc., all would be relativized, as there would just be pouring in migration from all countries, collapsing our state, and of course, you would run out of money. You would absolutely run out of money, trying to put everybody on welfare, which the Democrats, of course, would want us to do, because they sold out to the global elite cartels. They sold out to the crime syndicates. They sold out to the corporate news. They sold out. They're part and parcel with this illegal super elitists. I'm talking about like 1 billionaire elitists. They're part of this cabal of evil that was seeking and had its eyes and sights on America, because America was a Judeo-Christian culture that still has strong evangelical Christian culture. that is more decentralized than state-run Christianity and leftist Christianity stemming from the Vatican and the Anglican Church and Church of England, you name it. The different European branches of leftist Christianity, of course, with major presences now in America with their large populations here. And they were seeking to take this country down. They were seeking under Obama to put evangelical Christians as domestic terrorists. They did that on the FBI. So you're talking about a serious thing. And in the wake of now Waco, 25-year anniversary of Waco, the American people saw 25 years ago the bitter, terrifying reality that our government is militarized and has no qualms in using its military power and federal power against its own people. They could have arrested Koresh when he was going back and forth from town. He had good relations with different law enforcement. He would meet with them. They would talk. They would have coffee. They could arrest him at any time. But for them to do a 51-day sting operation and the ATF and FBI come down there and murder 76 innocent American citizens without due process. Now, whether you agree with them or not as Jehovah's Witnesses, theologically, it's a totally irrelevant issue because they are American citizens who have a First Amendment right to freedom of religion, and they have a Second Amendment right to bear arms. And we saw not only in that standoff, we saw the slow murder, the burning down of children, the assassination of 76 American citizens who deserve due process as citizens of this country. And we saw with our own eyes that the federal government is wicked and evil, at least departments and pieces of it. And the people that are there are gophers in some of those bureaus, that they are willing, if their higher uppers tell them, to go murder American citizens that they've lost their conscience. And we saw that 25 years ago. How bad do you think that got under Obama? Where they were literally firing all conservative generals and putting in these little globalist puppets like McCabe, who are now going to be indicted for perjury, and Comey as well, under President Trump. I mean, the history of Waco is incredible. And really what happened after that is you had the beginning of the American militia movement, which of course they destroyed and set underground by the false flag of the Oklahoma City bombing, which they blamed on the militia movement, and which probably the ATF had a hand in, is what the sources say around that bombing. I mean, even our commissioner, who is a government employee, knows that that was a false flag operation. You just look at the explosion blast, and there's no way a truck bomb can blow out that building in the opposite direction. An explosion from a truck bomb would send all the debris inward towards the building, right? Because the truck is outside the building. But what happened is you had something that blew up from inside the building and blew all the debris out towards the opposite side of the street, beyond the truck bomb, which defies science and defies physics. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Anyways, that's a whole nother thing. I'm not even getting into this morning. The point is, Trump is moving on this deep state criminal cartel, corporate media colluding cartel. And these are the people. These are the anti-American European wannabes that want to disarm the public, that want to mount our head on the walls, that want to gloat and revel in how powerful they think they are because they finally killed America. They finally brought her to her knees. They finally submitted her. They finally dominated her. They're wicked and evil. They are the iniquitous. And these are the demons that were getting away with murder, getting away with assassinations, getting away with that they were above the law, tax exempt, you name it. This is what the elites always try to create. Safe havens for themselves, prisons for everybody else. I love what Cook Joe said in that article. Socialism is just a prison system. Everybody has the same housing, everybody has the same food, everybody has the same health care, and only the government employees have guns. And that is a hell on earth with no freedom, where you can be murdered and assassinated with no due process just because some government employee had a beef with you. That's hell on earth, folks. And that is not the kingdom of God. For these socialist, political Satanist elites who want to be tax exempt and above the law and want to force inoculate children and feed GMO poison to people and slowly have the population die. I mean, you have Prince Williams, that piece of trash, coming out saying that we need to depopulate the world. These people are sick. They want a virus. They want, virus. What is it? Virus X is that thing? Is that virus X that they were talking about in the news the other day? With that has potential to wipe out human populations, like 80% of human populations, which they love, by the way. They want that stuff to get out there. These elitists are so crazy. They want this stuff to get there because they think the useless eaters are destroying the landscape and the ecosystem when they're the ones, through big government, who are the greatest polluters in the world. Did you know that government is the largest environmental polluter in the world? But yet they want to blame you for owning private property, and they want to blame you for having property rights and taking care of your stream with other people whose through whose property that stream runs. They don't want you to have a collective. They don't want you to have a system where you take care of the stream together as a small local community. They want to regulate it so they can own it. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely absurd. When will it end? Trump is going after these fools. These are the globalist, foreign, pay-for-play traitors, treasonous traitors who are selling out their own country, these pieces of trash, and they're calling themselves America. Give me a freaking break. They are part of the murder team of America. They are part of the assassination team of America, pretending to be patriots. They are pieces of hell. And thank goodness, in this case, thank God, Trump is going after them. He is delivering again. And Jeff Sessions looks like he's going to indict. So he doesn't look like an inept, castrated, emasculated, Looney Tune up there that didn't do anything for that last 1 year and a half. I hope it's true, but looks like he was trying to prepare that case meticulously to bring these deep staters down. So these are great developments in terms of Mueller, McCabe, and Comey, those illegal operatives that are foreign run and are enemies of the state, enemies of this country, enemies of these United States of America, treasonous traitors. They absolutely should be tried for treason. Sessions should try them for treason. Absolutely wicked.